Welcome, Goblin.best. Data erase. Goblin, are you a creature of the night? Do you tend to be awake at 3 a.m. for a toast? Hoo hoo hoo. Yes, I'm back. I've been away traveling for a couple of weeks. Well, actually, because some of that traveling was during the time I usually stream, I've been away for more like 3 weeks, which is quite a lot. It's nice to be back. Welcome, Blob Marley. Oh, I hope you all have been doing alright while I was gone. Even Jar Launcher is here. I thought that was a very nice fan art. I think that counts. I mean, it's a Tristy art, but I'm putting it on there anyway. Yes, the trip was wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad. If you haven't seen, I've been posting, or I posted a photo album. There were actually plenty of photos, not just the ones that I posted. But I posted a photo album of some of the photos from the trip, here. No, I want the link, please. Give me the link. Here. Welcome, Nathan Bao. You would think so, but there's actually no video games today. Instead, I'll be building a model kit. Oh. Welcome, Zeno. Welcome, Ashley Angel. That's right, it's fairy time. Oh, I'll get started in just a little bit here. A fairy can do more than just play little fairy games. That's true, a fairy can do all sorts of things. You know, to be honest, while I was traveling... Oh, the onsen, that was lovely. The things that I'll be showing you on this stream are actually from where I went to the onsen. A place known as Lake Suwa. Hollowbel at the onsen. Did you see the picture where I touched the water and it hurt? That one was a special treat just for you all. Because I was in a lot of pain. That onsen water is hot. You can turn it down though, you can put cold water in there too. You can balance out the temperature to your liking, but some people like the onsen terrifyingly hot. The new 30 minutes preference Madoka? Oh, I saw that. I thought that was wonderful. There was a, okay, so for context, whenever 30 minutes comes up, I should do the, okay, so part of the point of the stream, actually, long story short, 30 minutes preference Madoka is a plastic model kit of Madoka Kaname from Puella Magi Madoka Magica. If there's like something that's described as 30 minutes blank, it's probably a Bandai Namco model kit. I think I'm gonna get started because a lot of you are here. Greetings, travelers. Hey, wait a second. Hold up. I was overcome with a mysterious sort of paralysis. Is this any better? How about this one? This one, maybe? Yeah, there we go. Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Hollowbel's Storytime. It's great to see you all again. It's been a little while. Well, this time, my adventures have brought me somewhere a little bit different, and that's because I'm here to share a model kit with you all. I've heard of a thing that humans and various other beings like to do called a handcam stream, where, you know, they set up a little webcam and do a thing with their hands on the stream. Usually I think it's playing with a video game controller, but I've seen some people do it for building things, and that's something I'd like to do today. So, you might know that I was away on a trip for a few weeks just now. A trip to Japan. It was wonderful. I had a really good time. It was super great. I hope that everybody who wants to visit another country can do that someday, because it's really special. The kit that I am going to show you was obtained on these adventures from a place called Suwa, which is a really beautiful town deep in the mountains by an absolutely enormous lake. You've got the lake in the middle, a very big, wide-spreading town, and on all sides, or on a lot of sides, surrounded by mountains. It's a really beautiful place. So, while I was there, I completed I suppose that me and my fellow adventurers completed a pilgrimage to the 4 main shrines of Taisha Suwa. That was incredible. It was really splendid. Here is me with one of the buildings from the 2nd shrine. In the course of completing this pilgrimage, though, we stopped by a model kit shop. This is the shop of Plum PMOA. Over here, you can see something called Suahime Project. Suahime is the mascot of Lake Suwa, and she's the cutest in the world. She's basically like a sort of a mascot for the town, I suppose. There was a bit of a like boom in Japan in the 2010s of like mascot characters for localities, for like companies, for events, that sort of thing. It's so beautiful how many mascots there are. Yeah, exactly. There were actually so there was actually a mascot called Kumamon. If you've seen like a black bear, kind of like a cartoony black bear with kind of sharp eyes, that bear is for a like prefecture down in Kyushu in Japan, and was like a super popular character. So a lot of towns were like, we gotta have our own mascot character too. And everybody made all sorts of mascot characters. They tended to start out as like funny animals and things like that, but over time more towns made like anime characters. It's all that guy's fault. Welcome, Swatime G-Pool. Welcome, Vexed Vivienne. Yeah, so because there were so many, a lot of people got kind of burned out on like mascot characters. They were a little bit tired out. Welcome, Pure Almater. Ooh, nice. Ciel no Surge. It was a little bit of a situation where, like, because there were so many mascots vying for people's attention, people got a little tired out and were like, okay, let's cool it on the mascots. And a lot of mascots from back then are retired, but one who stuck around and was very beloved was Suahime, who you can see over here. She's basically a 500-year-old princess from the town of Suwa, which is where these photos are taken, who is isekai'd into the present and teaches various lessons about like history, that sort of thing, and gets up to hijinks with a normal Japanese high school girl, that sort of thing. Funny things happen because she's from the past, that sort of thing. But the character is designed to kind of like teach a bit of history, to like get people to like get, you know, younger people who might not be curious about like the history of the town interested, because there's a cute anime princess to kind of incite a bit of curiosity through comics, that sort of thing. Anyway, so we stopped by this this sort of company that does the goods manufacturing for Suahime. Here you can see something very special, which is a Suahime car. But this place is actually the sort of front for a plastic model manufacturer, Plum PMOA, and they make various characters. Or they make various like models, sort of like pre-painted statues, model kits, that sort of thing. Marie! Yay! Great to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Marie may have also, if you've seen some of the photos, Marie Hawk was also in them. Can we get Hollowbel car this year? I hope so. We'll see about that. Oh, if there was a Hollowbel vehicle, I think it would be nice if it was an airplane, personally. You missed the car. The car was very nice, wasn't it, Ashley? Oh my gosh. So, to give a bit of a, like, preface on plastic models, since that's what we'll be building today, I got into model kit building a couple of years ago with, believe it or not, Gundam Witch for Mercury, which I still have fondness for the first season, but my favorite at the moment is, well, I won't get into Gundam right now. Point is, I think that people starting to build Gunflow because of Threads or Wish for Mercury is not exactly uncommon, but over time I started building less robots and more like character kits. Bandai Namco is sort of the main like, or is like maybe the biggest manufacturer of model kits. I tend to build more Kotobukiya ones these days. I like the designs and like the sort of often like greater build complexity for their humanoid characters. Plus they're cute. Wish for Mercury was a huge gateway drug for many types. Yeah, for sure. This is a smaller manufacturer, though, than either Bandai Namco or Kotobukiya. It is Plum PMOA, and they're actually located in Suwa. I had never heard of them before this trip, but they had some model kits, and I wanted to try one out. So, without further ado, let's get to the handcam stream. I hope this doesn't, like, explode on me. I'm a little bit afraid. Is this working? I think it's working. Perfect. Well, let me get my cutting board. Nice coaster. Oh yeah, thanks. A friend got it for me. Very sweet of her, actually. So, this is the model kit. The character here, you can see this right here. Plum PMOA. Well, you kind of can. Toho Spell Bubble mentioned. Oh my gosh, you know, Toho Spell Bubble is incredible. I really like that game. And it turned out they made a placemat for it. A mouse pad. Nice polish. Thank you. I like to do it sometimes. Your favorite Kotobukiya model is Metal Gear Rex Guns of the Patriots version. They do some really good mechanics builds, like mecha, things like that. I mostly build characters these days because that's what I've been into, but I am fond of the designs of their robot kits. Plum is a really cute name, right? Plum Shop. This is from the Plum Shop. So this character is Tohoku Zunko. She is a voiceroid character, which is kind of like Vocaloid, but a little different. It's like a voice synthesizer. She was created as a like mascot character slash synthetic voice character to basically support the Tohoku region as a mascot. This was after the earthquake and tsunami in like 2011. The hope was kind of like, oh yes, you know, she's a character who will like just like support the region, especially as it's like rebuilding, which I think is really sweet. When I went to the shop, I was looking for a plastic model of Suahime because I thought she was really cute, but they haven't built one yet. My hope is that they'll build one eventually. I think this character is really cute though. I'm very fond of her like big like green hair, green outfit. It's based on soybeans, like edamame, you know? Her name is Zunko because of the sort of snack of the Tohoku region, Zunda mochi, which is like if you take mochi and combine it with mashed soybeans, you get what I understand to be a very delicious sweet. She's like Zundamon. Oh, Attenborough, you've heard of Zundamon. Zundamon is actually a bit more popular than her. I chose her because I was really fond of the soybean hairband, but Zundamon is actually another character. Is there one of her on this box? Oh, I don't see any pictures of Zundamon here. Let me see if there's... Okay, so if you look up Zundamon... Well... Let me see if I can find a picture of that little fairy. Zundamon is like a counterpart to a very cute character, the Fairy of Zunda, the Zunda Mochi Fairy. She is also a fairy, yes. I love this character. There was actually a model kit of her, but I only felt like getting one model kit because otherwise my luggage would be packed. So my thought is that if I go back to Japan someday, if I go back to Japan and maybe Sua, well, Sua or not, then I'd like to get a model kit of the girl on the right in the website that I just sent you. You thought she was just like a scrungaloid? Yeah, no, she is actually also a representative character of the Tohoku region. She is like kind of a weird little like scrungly androgynous soybean fairy who has the power to turn mochi into soybean mochi. She's very cute. I like how androgynous she is. And also her big soybean antenna. Honestly, an amazing fairy, as fairies go. All fairies are amazing, but, you know. So... This is what a model kit looks like inside. Well, I took out the instructions to look through them, but... Whenever you open up one of these boxes, you get a bunch of plastic part runners. Runner is what you call these big sheets of plastic that contain, if you look closely, various pieces inside. So like you can see the character's skirt, I think probably ribbons. You can see like hands, faces, arms, that sort of thing. There are all sorts of pieces here. Anyway. And there are the instructions. So let's start with these. Welcome, Mide. Thanks for stopping by. Glad to see you here. Didn't want to ruin my luggage capacity. I heard that you, Marie Hawk, maybe bought like 8 model kits before you were leaving Japan. I hope you're gonna be okay. This is a crafting stream, Attenborough. Yes, that's right. I'm not actually sharing a story today, other than the story of how I visited Lake Sua in Japan. Instead, this is going to be a peaceful handcam crafting stream. If you want to see more stories, wait until next week, because I have a good idea for a stream and a game that I'd like to share with you all. Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry. Let me update this. I am so sorry to anybody who joined to see Threads of Fate. What's like a good category for a handcam stream? Is there like a Gundam channel that I can like, a Gundam like category I can blow up and make people upset when they come here and see an anime mascot instead? Arts and crafts. Is that a... Oh, for some reason I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Perfect. There we go. Sorry about that, everyone. If anybody came here for Threads of Fate and they're not getting Threads of Fate, I'm actually legitimately really sorry. That feels like really sad, doesn't it? By the way, just wanted to say, I made the camera smaller with fairy magic. I made the model kit smaller with fairy magic too. Actually, this kit is Hollowbel sized, but fortunately, with the power of a fairy's curse, I was able to make it tiny. The curse will wear off in a little bit, but for the sake of this stream, I will be able to cut out the model kit with my hands. This is a color-separated kit. I'm actually really fond of a sizable viewer base for crafting. That's so exciting. I only stopped in to watch one of these crafting streams once, so it makes me happy to see that a lot of people enjoy them. So, people stop by over the course of this stream, then it'll be nice to see because I really like this as a hobby. This is a color-separated kit. The color separation on this kit is actually really good. Like, you can see in her design right here, all the different parts involved with her. So there's actually a, there are actually, like, the colors aren't exact, but there are actually separate pieces for, like, the skirt and this stripe on the skirt, which is, the stripe is actually over here on a different runner. So I think once she is completely assembled, the parts are going to end up looking a lot like this photo here. It'll be most of the way there. I always like to paint my kits, but I'm not going to paint this one on stream because, well, at least for me, painting a model kit tends to take several days in little, like, kind of spurts of maybe 15 minutes to a half hour at a time, because you have to wait for paint to dry. The stripe isn't a sticker. I know. This is, like, it was actually kind of surprising build quality. Plum PMOA must know what's up, the creators of this kit. Because, like, usually with a kit like this, on most model kits, that's just going to be a sticker, or there'll be, like, instructions, like, paint this in a different color. It's kind of a bit of a small detail, and it's a bit of a pain for a kit to actually, like, like, make a separate part that is just, like, this big, chunky ring. But, as you'll be able to see here, once I open this up, is there, like, a tab I can pull on to open this up? Oh, it doesn't look like it. Model assembly these days is crazy. So here you go. Here is the skirt. And here is the stripe on the skirt. It's pretty good, right? I'll just take all the parts out of their bags for now. The crazy color separation they were doing with the Gundam G-Quux kits. Oh, that's exciting. I was interested in building the G-Quux kit before because I like the design of that one a lot. I feel like I was a bit disappointed on G-Quux as a whole just because I wish it was just like two different shows instead of like being one show that had like kind of two completely different things going on inside it. But the mecha design was really good. I was quite fond of that. Here are her faces, by the way. They're pretty cute. Welcome, Koja. The Awakened version? Oh, I think I saw that over there. Yeah, it felt like with G-Quux, I'm afraid Mide the camera is going to be a little bit out of focus. It'll be easier once I am working down on the... it'll be more in focus once I'm working on the cutting board, but while I'm showing you these parts, they're going to be kind of blurry. The webcam is a little bit tricky. It's not super expensive, and also it's having sort of light issues on account of me shrinking it down with fairy magic, so... my apologies for the blur. These faces, by the way, are blank, and the kit comes with decals for the eyes. The eyes, mouth, that sort of thing. And the idea is that it comes like this so that you can like paint the faces as you desire and then put the decals on top of them. That's something I like to do because I like to paint my kits, but it's also possible if you don't want to bother with that to just paint the kits directly, I guess. You've got the skirt and blouse and stuff. Shoes and what looks like a base, maybe? Yeah, they're the, this one comes with two faces that are pre-printed. Here's a ribbon. And black for some tights, I believe. I think these are for her... yeah, I think these are for her tights, for her legs and everything. So, with that, we can get started. Oh, there's also this one. What is this? Oh, I think this is Zundamon. Not like the, androgynous girl Zundamon, but like Zundamon in a little, chibi, in like a little tiny animal sprite form. I think that's nice. So I guess that Zunko actually comes with a little Zundamon in, animal form. That's really cute. The tights are a different finish, yeah. So, this is the model kit. Model kits will come with a set of instructions, but sometimes the instructions have interesting other things on them. Usually it's not too complicated, but in the case of this kit, there is a character profile for Tohoku Zunko, who we're going to be building. Talking about how she likes Zunda Mochi. She has the special technique Zunda Arrow. Here's a situation. Here are various 4 comas about her and the process of creating the model kit. This is really cute. I'm only learning to read Japanese, so I will not be able to read this all to you, I'm sorry to say. She's very impressed by, and a little bit overwhelmed seeing the amount of articulation put into this kit of her. So as a treat, she decides to give you a bunch of soybeans. I think that's nice. Yeah, the comics are nice. Whenever there's like some kind of, like surprise in the instruction booklet, I think that's always nice. Here is... this is really nice. A set of tools you need to build. I actually looked over this beforehand because I was worried that we would need glue, but it doesn't look like we need glue, which is great. Model kits that require glue are kind of a nightmare. If you're considering building model kits, by the way, be careful with American model kits. A lot of them still require glue, and older kits definitely require glue, which isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world, but, you know, something to watch out for. A vambrace, yes. Well, I'm doing a handcam stream, so of course, you know, you'll see my vambraces as well. Let's see. Descriptions of how to do the decals. Some of her various faces. I like this one. This is her being upset because you stole her mochi. Well, I feel like I should probably... At some point, I'll try to actually read all of the comics she's in, because I'd like to build a better understanding of this character, so that I'm not just making mochi jokes all the time. Of course, as a mascot character, I think she's, like, probably heavily mochi jokes. This is the painting guide. I really like the colors used in this kit. I'm actually quite fond of the color green. Even though my favorite, well, as Hollowbel the Forest Fairy, my favorite color is lavender. I still have a very strong fondness for shades of green, and it's nice to see a character who's done mostly in shades of green. She has a very natural feeling. Welcome, Roxanne. I see what you mean. She is a Vocaloid, exactly. Oh yeah, she's green like Miku. Miku's kind of green. Sometimes she's green. But yes, she has a voice bank. Oh, you know, I should have queued up a song sung by Tohoku Zunko. That would have been fun. Well, if you want to listen to what this character sounds like, search Tohoku Zunko and you will find all sorts of songs. Alright. Here is the parts list. All things considered, this is, like, not too big of a kit. We might be able to do it in this stream. But also these do tend to take a while, so... How does this suggest starting out? It looks from here as though... we are mostly assembling the hair first. And then the faces, so that we can complete the head. So let's start with that. This section here is about the head, and then we start working on the top of the body. How much kanji knowledge do I have? I only ever reached level 7 in Wanikani, so not very much. I know a bunch of kanji other than that I've studied with Anki, but probably less total than I learned with Wanikani. My goal is to learn some more kanji, but unfortunately, I'm a little bit, I've fallen into a trap where I got super backed up on Wanikani while I was using it. You want to make earrings from Plamo heads? Oh, that's delightful! Just to walk around with the severed heads of various characters dangling from your ears. I think that's brilliant. Let's see, so this will be C4. Actually, I'm going to try using rather enjoyed the way these nippers feel. C5. Get some cheap RX-78 kits. Ooh, that's great, actually. Yeah, the, like, robot heads. Specifically with the RX-78, I feel like as earrings, that would be really striking. Oh, by the way, as for what I'm doing here, so if you haven't made there's only 5 JLPT levels, yeah, I am solidly in level 5 of JLPT. I am not nearly at a point where I could do the JLPT level 5, I'm afraid. The Nipper brand, I believe this is, oh, maybe, I forget, is this one God Hand? I think this one was actually got from Gundam Base, but I don't remember whether it's God Hand or made by Bandai Namco. It doesn't say on it. Oh yeah, so what I'm doing here, the idea with a model kit is that you have all of these pieces here that connect to each other by snapping together. However, they're created as part of one big sheet of plastic, and the sheet of plastic is called a runner. So really, all of these different parts, they're all part of the same piece of plastic, so in order to put them together, we have to cut them out. They're made this way because it makes the manufacturing process a lot simpler. You have the Gundam base ones too? Oh, lovely. Yeah. Marie Hawk got these for me a while ago, but I don't remember what the brand is. Yeah, you don't need to create individual master presses for each because that would be exhausting on, like, the manufacturing side of things. Plus, well, the form factor of these is nice. You just get these sheets and they're kind of organized by color, so you can cut the parts out of each one, knowing what's going on. God Hand will be branded on the Nipper. Oh, I found some Ciel No Surge music to put into this playlist. It's been rather nice. So the reason why I'm cutting twice is that the process of cutting with these nippers, of separating from the runner, can do a little bit of damage to the parts. Like, you can see right here, for instance, where I cut, there's a little bit of, like, shifting. It's kind of discolored. Even with the, like, blurriness of the camera, you can kind of see how this is a little bit lighter. The plastic is crazed a bit. I'm not sure what that word sounds like. Possibly? I haven't heard that word used before as a plastic thing. Is that for, like, when the plastic is made is, like, warped? Made, like, a different color? That's what's happening here. Stress marks. Stress marks is the term I've heard for it, yeah. So that is, in fact, what's going on. Crazing in plastic is when a bunch of internal cracks form. Oh, interesting. Cool, yeah, then it is that. It's the, like, forming of the cracks causes the plastic to become discolored, and it also warps the shape of it so that when you paint it later, I guess the, like, damage will show up. The crazing will appear as, like, warping of the painted plastic even after you paint over it. Which is a pain. We don't want that. So we cut once further down on the nippers, or further down on the runner, like here. We're actually going to cut here later, but we cut here first so that the runner sustains kind of like the brunt of the warping. And then we go back in later and clean up the cuts on each of the pieces when we don't have to maneuver the whole runner around in order to do so. Oh, you know, one moment. I'm going to go get a cup for the candy. All right. So a secret of plastic modeling that people don't want you to know about. The fingernail treatment? What do you mean by that, Goblin.best? I'm not sure if I've heard of it before. Let me see if I can get an X-Acto knife. Some kind of a knife here. Yeah, this one's good. This is my toolbox. Oh, where's Sir Penknife? Here he is. I'll use him to hold the knife. What? My loyal servant. So at this point, we can cut off these little pieces here. A secret of plastic modeling. Well, it's a secret, but I'm going to share it with you all. Scratching it with fingernails. Ooh, I see. Nice. It's not bad. So I just cut this here with the nippers again, using the flat side. If you look closely here... Well, can I get this in focus? It's slightly blurry, but you can kind of see a bit of discoloration here. There's a little bit of bumpiness. So for that, we can get a piece of sandpaper and file that down a little bit. Nippers can produce a bit of a, like, messy cut. Sometimes it's smoother depending on the, depending on the part that you're cutting. Happy questing, Marie. Have a nice flight. But yeah, you can get kind of a slightly messy cut with the nippers, though depending on where you're cutting, like cutting here, for instance, it's actually quite smooth. Over time, if you use the nippers a bunch, you build up a sense for like when you're going to be able to get a smooth cut versus when you're gonna get a messy one. If a cut looks like it's gonna be messy, then I'll usually take this, the knife, and just slide that right down. And then go in and polish the end of it. Oh, I forgot about the secret. The secret is that model kits actually produce a great deal of candy. Have you seen these before? They're actually part of the runners, and they're very tasty. So, if you work on a model kit, then you can get lots of sweet treats for later. You can get like different flavors depending on the subject of the model kit. For instance, like a Gundam one, you'll have lots of like strawberry, you'll have like kind of vanilla, blueberry, lemon. A kit like this, well, let me see. Ugh. Soybean. That's a little weird. Well, I'll save this for later. By making a model kit, you end up with a lot of little sprinkles that you can eat later. Berries can eat it, so this is how the world heals. Slightly messy cut. It is always an option to just like snip off a little bit less than you'll need to cut, and go in with sandpaper to file away the remaining bit. That's something that I do sometimes, but I don't really feel like it most of the time because it takes a while. To be honest, even though I really like painting my kit, and I would say I'm probably more like an intermediate modeler rather than a beginner these days, I don't really tend to bother, like cutting off part of the plastic and then sanding the rest down, mostly because sanding is boring. Envious of the model kit sprue recycling stations? Yes, I am too, extremely. It's very, like... There are places in Japan where you can recycle these. I mean, so in Japan, a lot of plastic is just, like, treated as burnable fuel, basically. Like, you know, there's kind of a differentiation between, like, non-burnable trash and burnable trash. In the case of a model kit, it is plastic that is thrown away and burned. But because of that, you don't have a bunch of plastic sitting in a landfill, which is honestly... The fact that it sits in a landfill in the US is kind of horrifying. Especially when fairies can eat it. Yuzu Koshiro really cooked with that Train Odyssey 4 and 5, right? With the soundtracks. Like, you know, most people, I feel like, know him from his FM synthesis music work, but then he got a full orchestra and he just killed it with it. So here we can shave a little bit off. I think that these are probably mostly gonna be good. So now, we have a few parts that we should be able to assemble. You can see in the instructions, there are these strands of hair that all connect to this main piece, which is made by assembling a couple of parts. Apologies again for the blur. It is not getting more legible. This is a bit of a low-res camera. So you can't see the part numbers, but... this one. How well a dough would work if you put it through an injection mold? Yeah, I feel like it would start to fragment before it got through those really tiny, like the really fine bits. Or it would just like compress a lot, you know? So... to start, okay, I have a habit of like cutting out model kit pieces where I'll cut them all out first, or I'll cut a bunch of them out for a step and then put them back together later. But I don't always remember which piece is which. Here, you can see that these two go together. For the right side of her hair. So this goes here. Or at least it seems to, but it's not snapping into place. It's a bit odd. Maybe if I connect this... Yeah, there we go. I guess that the hair kind of requires a few pieces being connected together in order to get tension and in order to get some flexibility. So now that all three of these are together, we have some hair. And the back of the hair can move up and down, or in and out. A Mega Man Zero model. A crazy big ponytail made of many sharp as fuck strands. Then it was shorted by a very small ball joint that broke. That sounds like Kotobukiya for sure. Yeah, I've had struggles with Kotobukiya kits having a part that snaps tragically. Oh, an Eastern model. Ooh, interesting. Oh, this kit is so cute. I really like the Mega Man one. Or this, I guess this one's of Zero, but I really like these like sorts of Mega Man kits. It feels like a character who's perfectly suited for a small figure, you know? Very cute. Tragic about the hair, though. So, speaking of hair, this is the back of her head, now that it's been assembled. Next up will be crafting, well, the rest of the hair, I guess. So, looks like C7, C11. These are going to be the strands to the side of her face. Or, well, the side of her ears. A little bit further back. And then the other parts are her hairband, which is on runner B. The runners, by the way, you can't see it here. It's a little bit hard to see, but there's a letter for the, like, sort of runner as a whole, and then each of these other pieces has a number on it for reference. Which one of these is... It says B13. Oh, here it is. Here's the hairband. Sometimes if a piece has like a flat edge, or an edge that's going to be like out of sight, I just cut it directly off the runner instead of cutting instead of cutting a snack off to go with it. Instead of cutting off the candy. And then, what is this, A13? This is the ears piece. Actually, I'll cut out a few more for now. Might as well just finish all of this. I like when I get a chance to finish up a runner, just to clear up a bit of space. Sometimes kits are organized so that you can, like, finish a particular runner pretty quickly. Like, in the case of this kit, all of her hair is on a runner of the same color, and you finish it first thing. Which means you can be like, runner clear, and toss this out. Pretty early in the project. Good night, Mide. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you can sleep well tonight. Is Tohoku Zunko characterized as simply liking soybeans, or does that characterization go further? I need to read more of her comics to learn more about her character. I know she likes soybeans, but beyond that, I don't know the details. So, if you want to find more about her, I'm sorry. I read Japanese very slowly and taking like 10 minutes to translate every line, so you'll have to read it yourself. The scalp plate lifting to reveal a circuit board? Oh wow, does this Mega Man model have that? That's actually really... that's quite charming. Yeah, these mechanics are lovely. Oh, you can light up the character? Oh wow, yeah, the robot skeleton under... like, the robot skull underneath the face is absolutely brilliant. I love when you can tell that a robot character is designed by, like, a mechanics pervert. PCBs look very cool aesthetically. Yeah, I agree. They're a lot of fun. It's nice to be able to see the inside of a machine. I feel like it's where the magic is happening, so... I think it's fun when a machine shows it off a bit. Welcome, bug number 7. You can build a life out of soybeans if you are brave and true. I hear that there's a soybean fairy who does just that. Her hairband is also a soybean, yes. Mega Man Zero may be the most perverse Mega Man game? Oh, interesting. Good to know. Thank you. Well, I haven't really played much Mega Man, but I'll keep that in mind. I think that's a very solid bit of approval. I do want to play Mega Man Legends at some point. I expect that that will be a future Hollowbel stream. Or at least I would like it to be. I don't think it's going to be the one that I play next, but sometime this year, perhaps? Yeah, having a mechanical skeleton, it's like, okay, you built like a humanoid robot, you could give them like a humanoid skeleton, but having it be all like strangely like mechanical and other is like, you weirdo. You must be into this. That sort of thing. Whenever there's like an interior skeleton on a mobile suit, it feels like, okay, that feels pretty straightforward. But if they're doing that on a humanoid character, there's something exciting going on. My skeleton is normal, by the way, for a fairy. Made of sugar glass? That's right. And chitin. These, like, little cuts on areas that are slightly convex are always a bit tricky. No Mecha Musume rebrand down the line? Yep, I'm afraid to say. I'm fairy for life. Well, did you know that Hollowbel, who I've been taking pictures of, my beloved vessel, is actually made from a plastic model kit. Well, that was probably pretty apparent, but it helps to have hobbies. Sometimes they'll surprise you in ways you didn't expect. I need to go slow when cutting this. I would hate to nick myself. Hollowbel kit bash? You know I was kit bashing. I take pride in my craft. You'd like to know the process? Oh my gosh. Well, goblin.best. It's a good thing that I literally wrote up a, Okay, well, if you want to see how Hollowbel was made, then fortunately I actually wrote up a huge blog post, so check this out. Read this if you want to learn about a little bit of the frenzy that comes with being somebody who likes to work on model kits. You might understand a bit of my madness. Just a glimpse into my twisted mind. And poor little fairy skull. You've been looking at 30-Minute Sisters trying to plan hairstyles. It's really fortunate how a lot of those, a lot of the 30-Minute Sisters kits, for context, that's Bandai Namco's sort of, or at least a series of Bandai Namco's character model kits is 30-Minute Sisters. Very good name, by the way. They have a lot of, like, hairstyles that you can buy on their own, which I think is very nice. Kotobukiya, at least for their, like, Megami Device Kit series, doesn't have that. So you usually, like, if you want to get a hairstyle, it's often, like, best to buy, like, maybe a third-party resin kit, which is what I did. Well, I built a couple and did a bit of kit bashing to make them into the Twin Tails, to make them my hairstyle. The Pi 2 at Gundam Base before it's done. Ooh, nice. Kit bash a girl. Good luck. I wish everyone the best. You only tried a Serbi from 30-Minute Missions? A Serbi is so cute. She's a major cutie. I picked up an Acerbi as a present for a friend. She's very solidly in, like, the robot side of things. But she's also very cute. She seems like she's 100% robot and 100% girl. I like the 30-minute missions kits. They're very cute. They also take way more than 30 minutes, though. I'm not sure why they call these kits, why Bandai Namco calls them, like, 30-minute missions or 30-minute sisters. It feels like they're selling themselves a little bit short, you know? That's just me. So we put these strands of hairs on here. Now we've got the back of the hair. So as you can see here, this is the top of her head. There should be a hairband here. So this kit, which we cut from a different runner, is the hairband. It looks like this from the front, but that's because it's actually the inside of the head. And now you can see, slightly blurry, but this is a soybean. Her hairband is shaped like a soybean. See if this works. then this connects right here. Actually, I forgot to put the face on. So why don't we do that? This is a piece with the ears. It snaps right into the head. And the reason it has ears but no face is that you can change out her face to give her different expressions. So should we give her a normal smile or an open mouth smile? Actually, which one would you rather do? Oh, this is quite blurry, but here's like a flat mouth smile and here's an open mouth. I do have an airbrush, yes. There are airbrushes you can get that aren't like too expensive. In the case of mine, the kit that I got had an airbrush and a compressor, and it was like somewhere between $60 and $80. It gets blurrier close up, I'm afraid. Yeah, why don't I do the closed mouth for now, and maybe I'll switch to the open mouth later as I keep working. These are so cute. You can see with like a bit of blur, but I like the way that her eyes are painted. They're a little bit like, the pupils are bright gold rather than being black. Let me see. Here they are, a little bit larger. Nope, it's just a somewhat blurry camera, I'm afraid. I think that I will take some pictures later of the finished project and post them on Blue Sky. Such that you can see her with a bit more detail. Oh, she has a little ahoge. That's cute. How do I attach this? Oh, it wasn't actually mentioned in the instructions thus far. Well... Oh, I see. Her ahoge kind of dangles down a little bit. You'd like to see it next to Hollowbel? Okay, gladly. In that case, once she unshrinks, I'll take a picture with her. She cannot be grabbed by her ahoge. Well, maybe she could, but that would be a little bit disrespectful to a lady, don't you think? What? Is it flying? There we go. Here you can see her ahoge. And here's her head, all complete. This is actually a really large, like relative to her body, or I guess relative to the scale of the character, her hair is enormous. Model kits don't often... It's a little bit less common that they have hair that's like super long like this, so it's kind of charming to see. Big hair. And it feels sturdy too, like I think this is gonna hold up, even if she's moved around a little bit. In my case, Hollowbel's twin tails are a little bit, it's a bit... I'm like happy with how I built them, but they're a little bit easy to get knocked around just because they're so bulky. Getting in the way while working on her, exactly. It might be easier. What I tend to do with these is I will like build piece by piece so that I don't need to like hold on to, like I like to, for instance, if I build like the body, I'll snap it onto her head. But I will work on the body separate until it's time to attach. That's what I like to do, at least. Really pretty transparent wings. Thank you. Echoing Library BGM. Thank you, Fiora. I've actually been playing Etrian Odyssey 4 recently. And I love that game. I like played it. It was my introduction to Etrian Odyssey. I like beat it in 2023. It changed my life. But I was feeling like, okay, it's been 3 years. It feels like a good time to go back to Etrian Odyssey 3 and play, or Etrian Odyssey 4 and play it again. But like with a different party from last time. I used all the characters that I didn't use the first time, and it's still just as good as I remembered. It's a beautiful video game. If you like Hollowbel's Storytime, check out Etrian Odyssey. 4 is my favorite, personally. I hear a lot of people say that their favorite is 3. A lot of people say their favorite is 5. Sometimes people say their favorite is 1 and 2. That one's exciting. Love it to death. Do I sometimes jump to parts I prefer to build? If I miss your question, by the way, my apologies. Please feel free to repeat it later. Yes, I do sometimes. I like tend to build in whatever order I feel like building, but usually for like humanoid model kits, it feels kind of sensible to build the head first and then the torso and then the limbs, which is usually the way the instructions work, so... Oh, the transparent wings. Yes, I'm really happy with those. However, they ended up being quite fragile and like broke a little bit while I was in Japan, so I didn't include them in a bunch of my photos. Angelina film. It is beautiful, though. They are really beautiful, so I'm trying to figure out a way right now to reinforce them. I don't consider it too much of a failure. I was honestly half afraid that Hollowbel would just break down entirely during the trip, and then I would be left without a vessel, tragically. But it didn't happen. I think just the wings breaking is like about as... Honestly, I couldn't ask for too much more than that. Well, I guess I could ask for nothing breaking, but that didn't happen, so it's fine. So right now I'm cutting out pieces for the top of her torso. Thus you have this bit here, which is like the sailor collar. This is her neck. This is the ribbon. And then there's some kind of piece that I think is going to go inside of her. Probably like a skeletal thing. Yeah, this is going to be a central piece that's like an attachment point. And then D2 is, yeah, on this white piece. It looks like it's the back of the blouse. Here's D2, D1. Oh, you learned about Chemopla. I saw a pre-built one of those in Tokyo, but the place was sold out of them, which is probably good because I would have strongly considered getting one if it was available for sale. And I already got 3 model kits, including this one. One of them is actually a generic model kit that I'm thinking of using to, or one of the sort of like generic base bodies that I'm thinking of using to make another fairy friend of mine. Well, a vessel for her at least. I don't know how she'll feel about that though. The smallest? Oh yeah, by the way, Chemopla is a recent, like, 2026 series of model kits that is furry. It's very cute. If you want to make a, they're like kind of interchangeable parts, so you can just like make a sort of, you can make a character as like a cat girl if you want, but you can also make her like a cat girl, like big boofy paws, snout, having like hair, but like also mostly fur otherwise, digitigrade legs. I think that's amazing. The smallest possible motorized model. That's exciting to think about. One that instead of being animated by fairy magic is animated through robotics. I've seen some rather amazing, like, human-sized robotics efforts, but I'm not sure how much has been done in the realm of, like, ball-jointed doll size or smaller. Motorized gunpla used at some robotics tournaments? Are you seriously? You've only seen a couple Aeropla? I've never heard that before. That makes sense as a word, though. You would call it that, huh? The Gunpla robot tournaments with fighting. Oh my gosh. Are those real? Are there actually, like... I know about Gundam Build Fighters, but are there actually people who make robots that are, like, sufficiently, like, mechanical and controllable and can fight? Because that sounds really funny. Oh, basic movement, so you have Gundams smacking each other with pool noodle sabers. That's very cute, actually. I like that. So here's her ribbon. This is her blouse. They stand up by themselves. Oh, great. I will watch that later. This is nice. And here is the sailor collar. So that's her torso. I guess these are just left open. Oh, no, they aren't. We're gonna get some stripe pieces cut out to fit into there. So 14 is the waistband on her skirt, it looks like. And then we've got a bunch of little parts here. So this is actually the stripe modded up. This is the stripe, like, molded as a plastic, like, sort of a separate plastic component in dark green. So if we slip it in here, it fits right in, which I think this is amazing detail. Even, like, Bandai Namco and Kotobukiya kits will do this sort of thing as a, they'll just be like, yeah, paint this yourself. Or like, here is a label or a decal to fit here, but actually doing it as a molded piece like this is high quality. Yes, exactly, Marilyn. She is a mascot of the Tohoku region, and Zunda Mochi is a really, like, sort of popular regional specialty there. Zunda mochi is, yeah, in this case, like you said, a soybean mochi, so that is why she has the edamame on her head. Sure which way. I'm working with a really tiny stripe part right now, so not sure which way that should face. I think this is right. There we go. Now that's in. You can see how this is like a slightly darker outline, right? Yeah, molding it shows real care. I feel like working on this kit, I'm really impressed by Plum's work, which makes me happy. I think if I had gone to their workshop and bought their model kit from them, and they were kind of sloppy with their model kits, I would probably be a little bit sad. Because it feels way more exciting to find out, oh yeah, their model kits are super, like, nice quality, right? I'll definitely, if I manage to go back to Japan at some point in my little fairy life, I would love to get the Zundamon kit as well. There we go. Oh, I forgot about this bit. This will be the waistband of her skirt, so I might as well build that now too. Smaller creators kits? Ooh, what are you thinking about, Goblin.best? Is there a particular kit you have in mind? Oh, so nice hearing the Ciel No Surge music. I'm gonna put E on here. Thanks so much for stopping by, Elves Rose. It was nice talking Plummo with you too. Have a nice rest. A little cat-style robot. A boxy robot, but with a cat or paws and a tail. That sounds really cute. If you find it, I would love to see. Alright, so we snapped this on. Oh, actually, let me, sand her neck a little bit. Well, I'll try snapping it in and seeing how it fits. Okay, I think that's actually good. I was a little bit worried about it being too tight. I have absolutely snapped off pegs inside sockets on, like, arms and things like that because the fit was too tight, and I couldn't pull it out. No Nekobuso? Do you mean not Nekobuso? I see Nekobuso is like a model kit that is like a cat with some kind of like robotics weaponry platform on it, but I think that's different from what you're talking about. Not this one. That's very silly. I feel like if I was a cat and I was in one of those, I would get kind of scared when it started shooting rockets. I'd be like, meow, and start freaking out. Well, maybe it's easy for me to say that because I'm not a cat. I don't really know what it's like for a cat. Oh! This is from the Chantilly's soundtrack. I managed to find this one in a secondhand goods store on the trip. Entirely by accident, just looking through the shelf, and there it was. From like 2006, the Chantilly's soundtrack. A miraculous encounter. What a miraculous encounter, I agree. I was so happy to see it. Alright. So, here she is. So far, we built the head and the body. From here, it looks like the kit suggests building her arms. Yep, it suggests building the arms, the legs, and then the skirt. I guess that the skirt goes between the waistband and the legs. So if you don't build the legs, then I was thinking like, oh, I'll just build the skirt next. But if I do that, it'll just fall right off. The skirt is made of a rigid plastic and doesn't swish like a fabric exactly. So it is, but this is something really cool that you might like. If you look here, you can see that there are actually two skirts. One of the skirts is this one over here for if she's standing, but then this one is a little bit bent in the front to fit her legs. So she can either be standing or sitting. And there are parts to build both skirts, so if you want her to take up a different pose, then you can switch the skirt out. There are people who make skirts for plastic models, though, like out of fabric that you can use, and those are more flexible. I suppose, since I built Hollowbel, I can be counted among that number. Well, I kind of feel like building the skirt now. It feels like a fitting point in this adventure to build it, you know? So I might as well just build it now. It'd be cute to sit the model on top of a computer monitor. I think that's a great idea. It's compelling, right? If you build a plastic model, you can do this. They can sit on top of your computer monitor. Why don't I use the knife for these? Oh, well, I should cut out this stripe here. Welcome, Hugh and the Maid. Thanks for stopping by. Hi. How's it going? Aranzo. I haven't. What's that about? Oh, a series of crafts magazines for cute designs? That sounds lovely. Copy. Their catchphrase is, the magazine company's catchphrase is, cute, strange, cool, silly, a little bit horrible, stupid, and comfortable, Aranzo. That's absolutely incredible. So they've made a bunch of little characters for their books. This is incredibly cute, and they have all sorts of crafting things that you can make yourself. Cuter stuff. These are absolutely brilliant. They have little comics of the characters to sort of guide you through the process of crafting things. This is wonderful. Thank you for sharing. I love this. I almost dropped the Tasty Sweet in my water cup. I think I've probably done that maybe like... If I had to guess, I would say I've dropped the Gunpla Sprinkles in my water cup instead of the Gunpla Sprinkle cup like 5 times so far in all my time building plastic models. I might be off by 1 or 2, but yes, I keep track. It's the sort of, you know, moderately inconvenient, but also kind of humiliating accident that, like, feels like it's worth remembering, you know? The sort of thing where it's like, oh my gosh, I have to make sure that never happens again. I have to make sure I don't literally drop plastic into my drinking water. And then you're, you know, paranoid for it the next couple of times you work on a model kit, and then eventually you forget. Just in time to do it again. Oh, this is cute. So the skirt is like 4 different layers of plastic, and you kind of stack them together on these pegs on the smallest piece. So like the petticoat, bottom of skirt, the stripe, the top of skirt. Whenever Tristy works with watercolors IRL, there is on average at least 1 drinking the wrong water incident. That's terrifying. Is that okay? Are you like okay drinking watercolor water? That sounds scary. Unless it's like watercolor made from like flowers or something. Oh, it turns you into a clown. Okay, maybe it's good. Maybe more humans should drink the watercolor. So that's how it happened. Watercolors are made of crayons. Is that how it works? Wait a second, you shouldn't be eating crayons either. Should you? Well, now that I think about it. It seems like the sort of thing that might actually be good for you. Oh no! Yeah! I snapped it. Okay, I gotta be more careful next time. It's fine. I'll glue this later. Don't worry. You know, personally, I'm a real big believer in, like, wabi-sabi. I think that, like, whenever a creation shows signs of imperfection, it's kind of a reminder, right? That, like, it was made by someone. It didn't just come out of a perfect machine. It was created by a fairy somewhere. Someone who's like fallible, prone to mistakes, but also capable of creation, capable of making great beauty, despite the fragility of the flesh and the spirit. I think that's beautiful, which is why it's not a big deal that I snapped this. Oh, that one you posted, Goblin? That's beautiful. That's a very cute robot. I love a big chunky robot like this. This is a very flimsy piece right here. I feel like, it feels like one that I think, like, I should probably just, sort of do, like, an initial kind of pass over with a knife, but... Yes, here you go, Sir Penknife. Let's see if this holds any better. And see, because this attaches into, it just like slips onto these pegs. It's actually like super fine that I snapped the plastic there. And besides, it's wabi-sabi. For what it's worth, I'm totally, like, misusing the concept of wabi-sabi to cover for me being sloppy. But I think life is more fun when you're sloppy, personally. That's a bit of fairy wisdom question mark for you? I like doing it that way, at least. Some people get enjoyment out of being very precise, and I think that's wonderful too. So here's the skirt. Do you see? Pretty cute. Yeah, I think so too, Marlon. Wow. This is a kit with changeable skirts, exactly. There's the standing skirt and the sitting skirt. I'm just gonna make the standing one for now, and start working on her arms. After I get a drink. So next up is... what are the runners here? It looks like D, which is the white runner. And then B, which is the... I think this is the green, like the light green. And then G, which is, could it be black? No, it's dark green. Oh, it's the color of her stripes. I'll just cut all of this out now. So I can toss this runner aside. Yeah. I feel like the sort of process of creation, whether it's through something like this, that's like, you know, kind of a little bit industrial with it, like the creation of model kits, you know, kind of something with like something that is like created mechanically from something sculpted by a human, or perhaps someone else, as the case could be. It's like, or if it's something that is more like kind of creative from the get-go, like sculpting, like for instance, sculpting something out of clay, or like building a computer. I think that the process of creation kind of naturally makes you curious about how things are constructed. It's exciting, right? Once you build something yourself, it kind of... I think that, like, under... how do I put this? Injection molding takes a lot of infrastructure to set up. Yeah, for sure. It is the sort of thing that, like... Not only do you have to, like, design all of the, like, you know, design the model, then separate the parts into, like, runners and everything, the actual machinery for injecting the plastic is pretty chunky. The Plum office, the Plum workshop actually had, like, a factory tour, but I didn't think to sign up for a tour ahead of time, so unfortunately I didn't get to see it, but maybe some other day. Maybe some other trip if I could go back there and visit. That would be kind of luxurious, though. Well, if one of you wants to complete this mission, then go visit Lake Sua and do the shrine tour, and also stop by the Plum offices and do the factory tour. Something that can only exist in the present day. Yeah, injection molding is wild. It's really neat. Something I feel pretty strongly in the sort of, like, how do I put it? Hollowbel is going to talk about, like, capitalism a little bit. I think that, like, under capitalism, a lot of, like, I guess it feels like a lot of businesses, like, kind of have decided collectively, like, it's best to make things feel like they came, like, out perfect from, like, a machine rather than being the product of, like, you know, fallible humans. Like, you know, making things that are, like, perfect, no imperfections. I feel like the, it's kind of an extension of, like, the factory model where, like, you know, individual craftspeople's labor is kind of, like, made anonymized and less skilled through the creation of factories. But, like, a lot of, like, for instance, video games are designed with, or, like, you know, at least AAA video games are just, like, made absolutely enormous, where, like, you know, how do I put it? People are the credits are just like an enormous amount of people long, and it's kind of hard to like really pinpoint like who did any given thing on a project. But to the point where the games themselves look like strange like artifacts of like they're not made by people, you know? They don't really have the sort of, they're like, they don't have the hallmarks of like something that was crafted by a human being. That feels really tragic to me. And so because of that, whenever I'm crafting something, I like to leave little imperfections in it. Like, I mean, I do that because I'm sloppy, but I also think it's like, it feels worthwhile to leave the sketch lines in, you know? Because it's a reminder that a person made it. And the truth with this stuff is that, like, you know, either people make it or it is, like, something that was produced by Mother Earth herself. I think that's something that, like, companies kind of want you to forget when they kind of want you to think that, like, something is made not by people, but by the company itself as a sort of ethereal being. But, like, all of this stuff is ultimately the labor of people. Games having an art book with per drawing signatures, I love that sort of thing. That makes me really happy. It definitely helps counteract it. Yeah, it's like part of the, oh, welcome, Ree. It's good to see you. Oh, Kotobukiya detailed their manufacturing for the Frame Arm Girls anime. That sounds awesome. I want to watch that anime sometime. I like the Frame Arms Girls kits. They're very cute. But yeah, CEOs don't want to admit that the stuff they make is only made through, like, the efforts of human beings who they have to pay money. They don't like it, but I think it's very important to remind yourself of that at every opportunity, to learn more about the people who make your things, because the things are made by people. Oh, great! I'm glad. For what it's worth for the viewers, Frame Arms Girls is. Wait a second, do I have the chat box showing up? Oh my gosh. I do have it, right? Oh, I'm so sorry, everyone. I covered it up with the webcam. Here you go. Here's the chat box. Sorry about that. This Frame Arms Girls is, well, Kotobukiya, the model kit manufacturer, made a series of cool robots called Frame Arms, and then they made cute girl versions of the robots called Frame Arms Girls. I've made one of their kits before. I think or two of them actually. I think they're very cute. Hard to talk about Frame Arms Girls abbreviations. That's true. Yeah, I just forgot about the, I, like, wasn't paying much attention to the screen. You've built the bunny suit one? Basilard! I love Basilard. She's super cute. She is absolutely, like, you know, sort of robotic girl character whose outfit is, like, just a bunny suit. I think that's brilliant, personally. Bunny cute with bunny suit, excuse me, with big mechanical bits. Very good. So this is the sleeve. The, like, stripes are actually, like, the accents and stripe on the sleeve are actually made as little separate plastic rings, which is very cute. But they're also falling off, so I want to craft the arm and stick it on there so that it stops falling off. Oh, that's so sad. She's sort of broken. Did the joints snap? That's always so tragic when that happens. Yeah, Yeah, it's really nice when a kit comes with extra parts like that. So that you can, it's like whenever there are option parts, it's always a bit of a bit of insurance for if you break the kit. If you snap one of the parts, then you can just switch to the other version. So A14, where is that? Here it is. And then it looks like an option. It looks like we can choose what the hand does from here. So she has like a closed fist, a slightly open hand, a fully open hand, and a peace sign. I wonder which one she should do. Does anyone have any suggestions? I'll build all of them eventually, of course. Slightly open hand. That's actually the one that I tend to do, Ree. It's a pretty good, like, default one, right? Where do I keep each of the unused spare hands and other pose parts? I usually just get, like, a little pouch and, like a little pouch for each model, and then put all of the parts I don't use in that pouch. And I have a big box of all of the bags from the kits that I've built. Any accessories? Oh, yes. So this kit actually comes with a little Zundamon accessory. But like Zundamon, not like the sort of full-size fairy girl, but like tiny kind of squirrel-like Zundamon. Like the animal mascot form. Do I make clothes for dolls other than your vessel? I will. I mean, I'm excited to now that I've learned how to do it. I only did that for the first time because I was making Hollowbel. But now that I've done that, I want to make more models. That's how I feel about it, at least. Or at least I might like to make some more doll clothes. Because making doll clothes is fun. You've been getting recommended YouTube videos recently where Zundamon has advanced math concepts explained to her. That's the coolest thing I've ever heard. Oh my gosh, I need to find those videos. Oh, please do. Please send it my way. So this goes onto here. Oh, this is a little confusing. Let me sand this joint. So then this just slides onto here, I guess? Does anybody else here play Rabbit and Steel? I finished the main story of that pretty recently. I wanted to try out the DLC's story mode, and you have to clear the main game story first. It was very good. I like that game quite a lot. It's very cute. Wonderful! What job do you like to play, Marlon? I think as of the DLC, I am fondest of Grenadier. Grenadier is really, really fun. I think the one that is my favorite design-wise is Heavy Blade. I think her Hime cut and enormous sword are very good. The mage, yeah, I love Wizard Rabbit. She's so cute. I feel like, I have a slightly tricky time with characters like her just because I'm often a little bit slow to respond to the random procs. Like the, oh, you know, succeeded a % chance check and her special ability activated. I can be a bit slow at reacting to those, but which is why I like slightly more predictable characters. She is very fun though, and also she looks very comfy. She's very cute and fluffy. The special reload, exactly. So here she is. Her arm is complete. I'm going to take a short break. And once I'm back, we can continue with the left arm. I wasn't sure if we would be able to finish this kit tonight, but so far we're making a lot of progress. I mean, we pretty much have, like, the left arm and both of her legs. And then any other optional parts, too. But since we have the skirt done, it'll just be a matter of attaching them together. Alright, see you in a few minutes. Alright. I've returned. Am I coming through? Yep, seems like it. It is Void Stranger style, yes. I feel like Void Stranger, I wanted to do it as like a general style, but I did use, I was using Link's Awakening as a reference, but I used Void Stranger as well. I feel like the head being so wide is a Void Stranger thing. I might try redrawing with a smaller head, though, to tweak the proportions a bit. So now I'm going to start on the left arm. The left arm is exactly the same as the right arm. Whenever you're operating whenever you're like sort of building a bipedal model kit or like a humanoid model kit, whether that is like human or robot, there will usually be some symmetric duplication. I guess this is kind of true of most things that you would make a model kit of, right? Humans love that bilateral symmetry. You chop them right down the middle, they'll be the same on each side. I guess I like it too. All sorts of beings have deserved like that bilateral symmetry. It kind of makes things easier. I'm glad that we don't have to deal with the things that starfish deal with, you know? Oh, 5-fold radial. It seems like a huge pain if I'm being honest. I mean, no offense to starfish, but... Starfish are far out. They're amazing beings. They feel like they could be from like a totally different world, but they're absolutely from this one. I think that's wonderful. Oh yeah, diatoms are major cuties. They come in all kinds of shapes and colors. Yeah, all of their different shapes are absolutely beautiful. Sprites of the sea. Oh, whoops. I should flip this around. Oh, whoops. There should be an extra ring on there. For the sleeve. Which other hand should I use? What kind of props? She could hold Zundamon. maybe she could have... Maybe she could have the fully open hand for now to go with... oh no, this is... actually, this hand looks like it is for holding something, so maybe I'll use this one for now. See, like, beans is the easy answer, right? I'm not sure if she comes with any props other than the little Zundamon, so... But I have various props from other model kits, so maybe she could hold something from those. There's a kit series that Kotobukiya makes called, I think like Sosai Shoujo Taisen, something like that, where the concept is just a bunch of like characters in like school outfits. Rather than being like sci-fi or fantasy, they're just normal, like, Japanese high schooler anime-style characters, which seems good if you just want to have some, like, sort of real-world characters doing real-world things. Yeah, that one. But they probably have some parts that could work well for a Zunko. There we go. Fit that in there. Yep. And just like that. Her left and right arm are done. And I've got her skirt done too. So next, we can work on the legs. This will be pretty straightforward. It's basically just making two legs in the pelvis, and then you snap those together and do that with the skirt. Since we've already built the skirt, after that, it'll just be a matter of connecting all her pieces, I guess. Unless there are any other parts as well. If so, then I guess I'll find out about them later. Did I do the sprite art for the Zero Ranger bit on my blog? Yeah, I did. That one was fun. I like the Zero Ranger style a lot. I think I'm really fond of System Erasure's like very limited color palettes. I think that there's like a little game project I've been very slowly tinkering with, but like I think I like it when games have limited palettes. There's like a kind of intentionality with like working with a very limited color space that's a lot of fun. And yes, it looks very good when they do it. They've kind of got it honed to an art. Ugh. So I guess for this, we'll do the right leg next. Maybe she's wearing... Oh, maybe she's wearing thigh highs. I figured they were just like full body, or like full sort of like tights, but they're actually stocking, or like thigh high socks, it looks like. Seven and 10. And then one of these pieces in the middle. I'll set this down. I lost track of. I think this is the piece. So this is the start of the right leg. Can I squeeze that together? And now I guess the rest of what we build is tights colored. So for this one, need 3 E1, E9 and 8. Why don't I just cut the rest of these out? Why don't I put this cup up here so you can see the, you know, the sprinkles. The forbidden candy. I'm sorry, that's an important part of the model kit making experience that I neglected to share by having it be a little bit off screen. Maybe like this? Yeah, that's good. How difficult was it to find a fairy-sized keyboard? It was fine. I just, I got a human-sized keyboard and shrunk it with a fairy's curse. You know, the other fairies were totally happy to teach me the curse of shrinking things, but they weren't willing to teach me the curse of making things bigger. I switched OBS views by keyboard stroke, unfortunately there. That's a bit tricky. I'll need to figure that out later. Maybe I'll show you a picture of my 1/12 scale fairy crafting setup someday, if I feel like it. To be honest, I'll probably forget to, though. Should she be wearing socks or shoes? I feel like shoes feels fitting. So let's make the shoes. This looks pretty straightforward. Like, we've got the one piece for the top of the shoe, and the one piece for the bottom. The loafers, these are very cute. I'm honestly impressed by how, like, seamless the construction on this has felt. It's like, I had not heard of Plum PMOA before traveling to Japan, but, like, before my last visit, but this is a very good quality kit. There we go. So that is one leg finished. There is a foot piece if you want to have her, like, standing inside or something like that. She can be wearing her socks. But in this case, she's wearing shoes on top. I'll make a bag for the option pieces later. Yes, the trouble with shrinking down the camera that you use to take photos of things is that it looks kind of normally, like, it looks normal for a human and not for a fairy, which is a little bit unfortunate. I tried recording this scene with recording hand gestures and stuff with an actual human-sized camera, but it was totally incomprehensible. My hands were just too small. There we go. This is the top of the other leg. I'll just cut out all of these parts. Pretty sure they're all going to get used here. right? I think this is... Oh, there's one more piece. Yes, I have just been throwing the abandoned runners all over Tristy's place. I've been making an absolute mess of it. She can clean them up later, it's fine. For a kit like this, my guess is that they used Blender or 3D modeling software. There are like garage kits that are made by like sculpting the model out of clay and then just like cutting the model up into pieces and casting those with resin. But when it comes to a model kit like this, I'm pretty sure that they tend to be 3D modeled, if I remember correctly. I really want to see that video on like the creation of the sort of frame arms girls models, because it would be really cool to see the sort of process these are made with up close. Footage from a 3D modeling program. Cool, that makes sense. I'll make the other shoes so that both her legs match. One of their designers, Yanase, also streams their kit design work on YouTube. Oh my gosh, I need to check them out. That's incredible. Thanks for the heads up, Attenborough. Oh, thank you so much. I will be checking that out later for sure. There we go. So those are both her legs done. What is left? I gotta attach them now. Is there an additional piece actually on the... Oh, interesting. There's... I see. Okay, so if you want to attach her to a base, I'll just cut these out for now. Her shoes have little holes in the bottom that presumably you can like put a put a wire in if you want to have her like stand up on something. Or if you don't, there are these little pegs that you can fit into them too. You know, I guess I might as well just put them in there. And always take them out later. Japanese 3D printed mechanism YouTubers? That sounds really fun. I'll check that out later. Okay. What is that? So there's some like super tiny piece here that looks like it goes on. Oh, where did that go? Oh, I just lost it. Whatever, I'll find it later. Mechanical 7-segment displays. I'm gonna prop her up like this. Or by I mean Sir Penknife will. Thank you. So this is... Oh, it's the bow for her underwear. Okay, that makes sense. Well, she's a model, so it makes sense. We'll cut that out too. Yes, plastic models have these too. I'm not really sure there's a way around it. What is this piece? H. Given the audience that too. Maybe you could make like a sort of model character with a skirt where like the legs kind of just like attach under the skirt without like modeling anything underneath, but then it might be hard to bend the legs actually. I'm not sure. The fact that they did in fact model like a little ribbon to go on is something else though. So this is... the rest of this runner. Are these? Something like this, maybe? Follows the furry rule, where a completely clothesless furry is less lewd than a furry wearing a single undergarment. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. Where it's like, it's the attention to it. If a furry isn't wearing any clothes at all, then it kind of feels like, oh, there's not really any attention put into it. But if they're wearing something, then you know the person was thinking about their underwear. Okay. Well. Oh my gosh. Come on, would you stay put? There we go. Wait a second. Yeah, that looks like it's, rather than a ribbon, it's actually an edamame bean. Oh my gosh. That's ridiculous. Let me see where... I guess that these should probably go on next. These are going to be the pegs that the legs attach to. Basically, a model kit of a character is working essentially like a human skeleton. There we go. Whoop. Like this, I think? Or maybe like this. I'm not sure which side is the front. I think this is the front with like the little like fold here. There we go. What? Your head fell off. Did that really just snap together that easily? How elegant. It's a good design motif, right? The soybean. It's good. This is definitely something you only notice if you build the character. The hips have pegs that fit into the sockets in the legs. Yeah, rather than the other way around, it's true. And just like that, actually it looks like there's a little prop that you can make for her. So before I finish this up, why don't we make the prop? She's standing up. It's wonderful. I'll take a photo of her once I'm done. Oh, I see. The fully opened hand actually has a, there's a peg on it so that she can hold something with that hand. That's nice. Whenever I need to figure out whether a hand is a right hand or a left hand, I always use my own hand as reference. won't be able to call Ricci? So what is this exactly? It looks like... Is this a serving tray? That looks like it. She's got some food. I wonder what food it could be. Attentive viewers can probably guess. I mean, I'm not sure what the food is yet, but I think I have a pretty good guess based on what we've learned thus far. It's a mystery. Oh, huh. Is this like a, Oh, she actually has a ribbon. I'll make that too while I'm at it. For the back of her, in the back of her outfit, it looks like she has a big green ribbon that can attach. I definitely want to put that on. I feel like, with a Serafuku like this, I feel like the big ribbon in the back really ties the outfit together. It's super cute. Not that you absolutely need one, but I think if you have one, you might as well use it. A serving tray, exactly. Welcome, Harmless. Thank you for stopping by. Serving bean. Oh, you got it. You figured it out. So she's got... this green cup here of tea. And then she's got a little saucer here. I think when you've got a mascot character, it's worth going all in. So then... she's got the tea here, her cup of ocha, and then a serving tray on top of which is her favorite, soybean mochi. Did that come as a surprise to anyone? I think I cut out her hand, but I don't see where I put it. Oh, I see. It's under the tray. Yes. Oh, and she needs her pair of chopsticks. Otherwise, she's gonna struggle to eat. Glutinous rice doesn't contain gluten? That's ridiculous. What's up with that? Why did humans call it that, then? Wild. Okay, so that's why it's springy. Neat. So the back of her skirt actually has a little peg we can stick this onto. And like that, she's got a prop. Maybe if we rotate this out to the side, then she can be holding it like this. Try to balance her on her feet. Cute. And here she is. I'll take a photo so everyone can see. She's the girl with her favorite beans, Zunko, Tohoku, mascot of the Tohoku region. Well, one of them anyway. I do want to see those Zundamon learning advanced math concepts videos that was mentioned earlier. Here's my super fairy-sized camera. Well, Actually, I don't really feel like putting it on screen. I'm too busy taking a photo. It's done. She's all finished. Now let me just send this fairy photo to the fairy computer and... Oh, she's so cute. One moment. Let me insert an image. Oh, this is the danger of taking photos on a camera. That's huge. Can I, like, hide this while I resize? Yeah, there we go. Oh yes, it's a rainbow keyboard. I'm really fond of these keycaps. Here we go. This is her with the higher resolution camera. She's so cute, right? Extremely cute. She is carrying soybean mochi, her favorite. The green feels a lot more apparent. Yeah. This is in a room with rather warm lighting. She drives a car with license plate labeled Bean Lover. She absolutely does. This girl loves her soybeans. And she loves them in her mochi. Aww. That was lovely. Extremely the bean girl of all time. Wow, that's been a lot of fun. Yeah, I think she turned out really wonderful. This has been a lot of fun to build as a model kit. If you're interested at all in trying your own, this kit was made by Plum PMOA. I'm not sure how easy their kits are to get outside of Japan, but I'm guessing they're, like, pretty easy to get. And also, they make a kit of Zundamon, the funny little, like, fairy girl character who has a similar color scheme to Zunko. So that kit looks like it looked simpler to make probably than this kit was by a little bit, like bigger pieces and probably less of them. So if you are new to making kits, or if you're experienced in one that is a little bit simpler, then that's a kit that I'm guessing would be a lot of fun to make. Anyway, thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. This has been a really lovely stream. Did you like it? Personally, I had a pretty good time. Well, I actually had a great time building a model kit on stream. It's the sort of thing where this is a hobby that I like to do. I have a lot of hobbies that involve crafting things, like, you know, building model kits, painting, sewing, that sort of thing. The process of creation is really exciting, but it's often a solitary thing. So something I've thought about when I was in Japan was it would be nice to share these things with other people. And I think streaming is a powerful way to do that. It seems like it at least has potential, and I'm glad that this stream worked out. If this has gotten anyone at all excited about making plastic models, then that makes me happy. And if it was a, you know, pleasant watch for those of you who already like making them, then that makes me very happy too. All right, thanks everyone. I'll be back next week with more games to stream. I'm actually thinking of playing, if they make Rabbit and Steel plastic models, oh, absolutely not. That game is way too small for that. They made a plushie though, a few plushies. That seems like it would be a fun custom model to make, though. If only, right? I know, you, like, play a game with really cute characters, and you're like, oh, it'd be cool to make a plastic model of them, right? Unfortunately, only a few games are blessed with such things. Anyway, next week, the game I have in mind, because I was inspired by traveling to Japan, is Tokyo Extreme Racer. Is that a fitting game for Hollowbel Storytime, do you think? It's a little bit unusual, but, you know, we stand Genki here. All right, let's go. Yeah, I was taken for a ride, an absolutely terrifying ride in a bottle, on the Metropolitan Expressway, and I want to get back there. I'm going to Tokyo Street Race. Please look forward to it next week. Until then, this has been Hollowbel Storytime. Thank you for watching and sleep well. And stick around for the raid, probably. Oh, Fire Mountain is playing FF2. I saw that she actually modded FF2, Final Fantasy 2, so that all the characters are girls, which I think is brilliant. I'm glad she's going for it. Oh, Girl 2. And if you're watching the VOD, well, thanks for watching a VOD about building a model kit. That's really cool. See you around.